Welcome to No More Weights with your sister and life coach, Lezlie Roberts, your trauma release coach. And I am here with a heart and desire to see you be lifted from past pains and dysfunctions and hurts and trauma, because it keeps you in the place of being stuck. So let's be lifted. Let's gain a new perspective, and let's go from being lost to be inspired, because we're going to inspire you. And then if you ready to be found, to be transformed. This is the place for you. All those things will occur as you come and listen to the discussions, to the coaching, to the transformations, and to the testimonies. See you there. And I have a community in school called A New Perspective Lift with Lezlie, Lost, Inspired, Found, Transformed, so that we can weekly discuss our trauma, weekly release our trauma, and weekly get a hold and manage our emotions. So join me in school. The community is free, and we will have courses, we will have workshops, we will have everything that you need to gain a new perspective and be lifted and be transformed. See you then. Welcome to No More Weights. Come on in, take a seat, and let's talk. Now, I want to let you know that trauma just doesn't live in the mind. It just doesn't live in the mind. It lives in the body as well. And sometimes your body feels it before your words and your voice speaks about what your body is going through. So that means to me that your body is being deprived because it doesn't have a voice. It doesn't have a voice. Think about that for a second. Trauma in your body not expressing itself does not have a voice. But guess what? It does have a voice. It's speaking to your body. It's doing some things to your body that you're not listening to. So come on in. Let's talk about it. Tonight, we don't force healing. No, we just create a space and a pause for healing. We're not going to force it. We're going to create a space and a pause for healing. So let's go into trauma in education. Your body has been holding the story way too long, and you have not expressed it. You have not dealt with it. Your body has not allowed it to come forth to the place where you're doing something about it because it's been ignored. Meaning, again, your body has been deprived. You have been depriving yourself. How you feel about that? Being in deprivation is one thing to be in a relationship and that person is depriving you of affection, but you're depriving yourself of affection. So let's talk about the signs that your body has dealt with trauma, whether you're expressing it or not. Your body is expressing it. So let's talk about how. Now, unconscious thoughts can trigger you and reinforce patterns that keeps you stuck. Unconsciously, you're going to do it, okay? Because you haven't dealt with it. Now, understand thoughts and feelings are parallel. They're parallel. You have thoughts, unconscious thoughts, but thoughts are connected to feelings, and feelings is what keeps the cycle going on, okay? So what we have to do is understand why we feel this way in this situation, in this circumstance. Because guess what? A lot of people feel like, the circumstance can change, and it can. But the way you feel will remain the same until you understand the why behind it and uproot the why to get to a clear landing. Now, to understand the why is work. And that's where people just throw in the towel because they don't want to do the self-development work that is required. But if you're not going to do the work for you in the relationship that you have with yourself, again, you might as well throw in the towel for any other relationships to come about. So it's work. Now, when you get to the hard times where the work appears and you like, I don't feel like working today, because again, it's work. That's when you have to pull in the affirmations. You have to speak to yourself. You have to tell yourself, you can do it. It's possible. Healing is here. And so I say to you with the affirmations tonight is, You already began the work. So if you keep doing the work, you're on the right path. Don't stop. You're right there. Keep going. But it takes time. So give yourself grace. Give yourself mercy. Again, how can you extend grace and mercy to someone else if you can't give it to yourself first? So give yourself that grace to know that it takes time and it's going to be a journey. So relax and unwind and get ready for the journey. There's no rush. Change takes time and it's okay to go your own pace. It's your pace. It's your development. Don't look at nobody else. That's going to mess your affirmations up. That's going to mess your race up, your pace up. So it's your pace, it's your race, and it's your journey. Tonight is not about reliving trauma. I'm going to tell you that. I don't want people to get scared and run. But it is about releasing what your body is tired of carrying. Your body tired of it. I know it is. And I'm going to give you some examples. Not all of them, because it's a lot of examples, but I'm going to give you a few every time you come in so that you can learn and identify where you are. Now, for the sake of time and for the sake of the fact that I want you to come back in a few days and next week, I'm going to give you 3 physical things and 3 mental things that your body is speaking and you're not listening. Okay, chronic fatigue, persistent exhaustion, even after you have rested, muscle tension, headaches, jaw clenching, neck stiffening, and holding pain in this area. If you do this, you'll see how tight you may be. Heart issues, rapid heartbeat, palpitations, and chest discomfort. If you feel those things, don't ignore them. Your body is speaking to you. Now, the emotional and mental signs: 1, anxiety and irritability, feeling on edge, easily angered, quick to go to 10, quick to snap. 2, hypervigilance, constantly scanning your environment for threats. I know someone like that. And 3, emotional instability and sudden mood swings, intense emotions of fear, guilt, and shame. They just keep coming back to back in a pattern that is driving you. So now I'm going to discuss what it feels like when you are actually releasing trauma. Because by faith, that's where we're traveling. That's where we're going. We're going to release trauma. So you may have some warmth in your muscles, some tingling in your muscles. You may also have some sudden episodes of crying in where you have emotional waves of intense emotions. You may have some muscle twitching or some shaking or deep sighing or yawning just because you're releasing. And you have to understand that your body on trauma had been affected. So now it's going to be affected going backwards. It has to do a release. It has to do a turnaround. So it's going to be affected. It's no way around it because you're going to work on those muscle areas that's been stuck for so long. Okay? We're talking about culture and current affairs on trauma. Now, let's first start with the condition of our country. Its roots are in greed. It's built on greed and a heart of greed. And greed breeds trauma. Greed breeds trauma, which is all evil. It's all evil. So that's where our country has been founded on. It started with greed, and trauma has been the result of it, okay? Now, this clip that I am going to show you is the example of how what we're discussing, how the subconscious thoughts turn into feelings, and feelings create the dysfunction, and it creates more trauma. It creates more trauma because it has a pattern of destruction. We've talked about that. So this clip is going to show that, and we'll talk about it after you watch it. Here we go.
I definitely have changed. And it looks like we're gonna
We're gonna what?
I don't know.
We're gonna what?
And I'm not gonna speak negativity over our lives.
Why would you? Why would you?
I'm not. That's why I said I'm not gonna do it.
Why would you even think it?
because I think it.
Think what? You said before we even went to therapy, you want me to be happy even if we're not together.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that what this comment you don't want to spill out is about?
It's like going to the refrigerator, right? If I want to go to the refrigerator once, if I want to visit the refrigerator 3 times that day,
Right.
right?
Right.
I don't want the refrigerator to be bare.
Right. The question would be, why did you go to the refrigerator 3 times?
It's just if you feel like it that day.
Right.
Yeah.
And what is the feeling around that?
I think desire for my wife.
I think it's more than that.
Desiring to having sex multiple times in a short period of time is probably coming from self-soothing because it becomes addictive. It becomes pacifier. If you think about a baby pacifier, when a baby cries, we put a pacifier in their mouth and they feel better for the moment. That may be the reasons why. We talked about that the last session.
You told us your all's childhood stories, right?
The experiences that you had about the food and the refrigerator had a lock on it. Okay, who put the locks on the door, on the refrigerator?
My dad.
And how did you feel about your dad putting the lock?
I was angry at my father for
You were
that.
angry at your father?
Yes, very angry.
Very angry. And there's a feeling before you got angry.
I was confused.
Felt confused.
I get it growing up. When you're responsible for 210 meals a week,
Mercy.
I'm saying that's a lot of food.
That's a lot, yeah.
He's just trying to ration the food. When you're a kid, you're like, dude, why the hell do we have a lock on the damn refrigerator? Right? Because it doesn't make sense. Why have all these kids if they can't eat?
How did you feel?
I felt like stuff is fundamentally unfair. I felt cheated. I felt and still feel that food should be in the refrigerator. It's meant to be consumed. I don't understand why you can't eat the food that's in the cupboard.
So that explains confused. Any other feelings that came before anger?
Oh, embarrassed. When people came over, yeah, it's embarrassing.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's embarrassing.
So after watching that event, I can see where there was a left turn that took place. Kimmy was under the impression that Maurice had got the understanding. We're talking about the understanding. He got the understanding. He understood why he wanted what he wanted and how often he wanted it. He understood that. Took him back to the roots of childhood abuse, childhood trauma. So it took a left because when the conversation was had, we learned that he didn't truly understand, or I would say he understood in his own way, in his perspective, because his understanding, he understood that still Kimmy had to do more. It's still Kimmy had to do more. Still somebody had to do more. He didn't understand it in the lens of this is my trauma and I can't see clearly because it's dark. So he thinks he's seeing clearly. Before we go into that segment, I want to tell you a story about my trauma and how I can identify with all of this. Okay, so story segment time. This is my trauma story to tell you. I've been discussing a lot about where I am currently in my marriage. Now, the trauma that I've been through is the abandonment from my father. He was a heroin addict. He never showed up. And he never was involved. And with that occurring in my life, it deprived me of what I needed and what all young girls need and want, right? But we need it. We need it. We need the balance of family. We need it. We need it. We need it. So with that trauma of abandonment, it traveled with me through life. I didn't understand it. And again, we're talking about understanding. I didn't understand it. So I traveled through life through promiscuity, through poor decision-making, through instability, through all kind of domestic abuse, all kind of things that brought more trauma. It brought more trauma. That one traumatic event brought more trauma along the journey because of me having a lack of understanding. And so now what it does is it affects you in every relationship that you are connected to. So what trauma has done in my life is it affects my marriage because it tells me not to trust. It makes me have the abandonment, put those subconscious thoughts in my mind that made me feel sad, sorrowful, and untrustworthy in every situation. It made me feel those ways, and it created a pattern of those feelings. So now in my adulthood, because I've never dealt with it, now those patterns have become those patterns, and those patterns have to be dealt with every single day until my brain and my response is different. So trauma is real, and it doesn't have any biases. It's not racist. It's not to the rich or to the poor. It's everywhere, and everyone is affected by it. And so it just deals with it. Now, how trauma has dealt with me in over the years is emotionally and mentally. We talked about the different parts, how it deals with us. The anxiety, it deals with me. The anxiety of not wanting to go different places or just wanting to just stay put, just the anxiety you feel in your body. And then physically, neck muscle tension, like it deals with you. It deals with you. So trauma enters in by way of ignorance. And I came to lift you out of that. It comes in through ignorance. So no one should feel shame because they have been stuck in trauma. On no level, no one should feel shame of it. No one should be guilty behind it. No one should feel a way. Only way you should feel is sick and tired of being sick and tired, because no longer is it serving your purpose, and it's time to say goodbye to it. It's time to evict it. It's time to let it go. It's time to release it. It's time to let it know that it's not your friend. It never was your friend. It's time to be hit it. Okay? So that's where we need to go in this thing. So the next segment is coaching and transformation, because I'm going to put out there what Maurice and Kimmy can do. Here we go. Coaching and transformation segment. I want to offer a new perspective for the clips that we've seen. And the reason why I want to offer this a new perspective is because that's what I do. I offer a new perspective to people. So Maurice has gotten to the roots of why self-soothing is self-sabotaging. Get it? He got to the roots of that already. He now has an understanding of why he feels the need to self-soothe. Okay? So follow me. Now, remember, understanding is everything. He now understands why he feels the need to self-soothe. Self-soothing was the thoughts in the response of feeling that need, that void. Okay? So here we go. The act of having been deprived. Now let's think about this. He said what he went through as a child, and that act of being deprived is traumatic, and it has become subconsciously in his thought pattern because it's connected to a feeling, and the feeling is, he said, it made him angry. So the events, whether it occurred once or many times, becomes subconsciously a thought pattern of feelings that's connected to that event. So whether the event was horrific, traumatic, or a good event, there are thought patterns that will stamp and imprint your mind and your brain to keep you on that cycle of remembering the feeling, the thoughts, and the patterns. The feelings, the thoughts, and the patterns, it all works together. So that subconsciously travels with you to adulthood. And that's what we're seeing in this situation with Kimmy and Maurice. So with understanding, as we noticed, can be tricky, because Kimmy was under the impression that he understood. I was under the impression that he understood, but he understood on his level of understanding, and he understood it in his capacity, in his way, his perspective. She was excited. I was excited. Everybody was excited because we thought he got it, because I'm praying for them. But As Maurice kept talking, she heard him admit to not understanding. Well, he didn't quite admit it. He just said that he understood. However, he perceived that Kimmy could be doing more in his place of understanding. He felt she could be doing more. So his understanding was still in a place of blame. It's still in a place of blame. He got some more work to do. It's okay. It was evident in that moment that everyone's understanding can be different and will be different. What makes it different when there's only one truth? But perspectives make it different because perspectives and experiences shape people's perspectives. And that's what they roll with. That's what they see life with and through. It's called trauma lens. They see life through the trauma lens. And trauma lens are blurry. Trauma lens are dull. They're dark. You can't see through them clearly. But that's what's going on with unhealed trauma within people. Now, I want to show y'all the Maslow hierarchy chart. And, I'm going to put this on here so that you can see it. And if you notice, the bottom of the chart is physiological, and that is breathing, water, sleep, having a home, shelter, clothes, estosius, how you pronounce it. I'm not good with pronouncing it, but you know what I'm talking about. So it's breathing, sleeping, clothing, being clothed, having a place to live, right? The foundational needs of a human. Then when you go up, safety is the next one. That's security of body, health, family, resources, employment. Then when you go up, that's love and belonging, family, sense of connection, meaningful relationships. Then when you go up to the fourth level, that's your esteem, your confidence, your respect, status, and who you feel you are. And then you go up to the last level is creativity, your self-actualization, fulfillment. How you are fulfilled is how you feel about yourself. You're fulfilled on how you feel about yourself. Whether you feel about yourself is how you will fulfill yourself. So imagine this with using this graph. Imagine this. Maurice at the bottom of the Maslow hierarchy 2 that we're using, physiological, has been affected. He's been deprived. He's been affected and deprived. Deprivation is the lack of breathing, water, sleep, shelter, food, clothes, the homostasis, the foundation of who you are. That was deprived. That was shaken. That was never built on a place that was stable so that it can go to the next level, which is bring him safety, security of body, health, family, resources. I'm sure at that age, if you're hungry, you would love to have some resources. You don't know what resources are. So then the third level is love and belonging, family, sense of connection, meaningful relationships. How can you think these relationships are meaningful, but they're not bringing you love? They're not feeding you good things. So what does it mean to you then? What is it turning into understanding about it? Are you looking at the people who's supposed to bring you those physiological things? Are you looking at them with confusion? So there's no sense of connection at that point because there's brokenness. Then you go to esteem. There's lack of confidence because how can you be confident and be hungry? Respect status. How can you be confident at school and be hungry? How can you deal with anything in life and feel good about it and be hungry? So then your creativity, self-actualization and fulfillment, who cares? Who cares? But then you do care. And how you care is taken. I'm going to do whatever it requires to make sure I'm good. I'm going to self-soothe in this area of my life. And self-soothing is self-sabotaging. So that's what has occurred. Self-soothing, self-sabotaging because of deprivation has caused dysfunction, has caused trauma to repeat itself, and has caused disturbance. And it will destroy if it's not worked through. So I'm believing with Kimmy And I'm praying with Kimmy that Maurice will keep going, and keep surrendering to the process, because as he understands that he's not to blame, no one's to blame, because like I said before, trauma comes through way of ignorance. So I'm sure his father was ignorant in that area. So you have to forgive him, but you have to forgive yourself, because you were in the rights to feel all these different emotions, and it's okay. It's okay. So I have this here, and I like to use it a lot. And so when we go through the fact that there was deprivation, he was deprived of human rights, the human rights, right? And there's a lot of kids out here who are deprived of the human rights of water and food, and they're hungry, and they're homeless. Like, there's kids homeless with their mothers. So when you go to that place of being angry, it really covers a lot. You can see that. It covers a lot, because when you have become angry, it's connected with being hurt, threatened, hateful, mad, aggressive, frustrated, distant, critical. And then it connects with sarcastic, being sarcastic. And I heard, her say that. And people aren't sarcastic. That's how they deal. Skeptical, suspicious, withdrawn, irritated, infuriated, hostile, provoked, enraged, furious, violated. It's a violation to be hungry as a child. You've been violated. Resentful. I can see you resenting a lot. Jealous, insecure, devastated, and embarrassed. All those things are the family of being deprived. So that was a lot. That was a lot. And that's what trauma does to the brain, the body, the emotions. It is self-sabotaging, and unchecked, it becomes generational, and it just keeps going until someone says enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? So that has occurred, and it's put an imprint on the subconscious, because it made you feel a certain way, the anger. And I could just feel the deprivation of it. It makes you feel angry and mad, because like you should. Like I thought about my father, you should have. You were supposed to. There was no reason why you did. You should have not. Like, you should have. So I understand, and these events, they create the patterns. So that is, offering a new perspective to Maurice and Kimmy and to the world about trauma. We have to understand that it became a pattern, because it's subconsciously, the event got into our minds subconsciously, and now it's replaying over and over again the memory of the event and the feeling and the thoughts, which brings the feelings. And we get stuck there. We get stuck there. So we got to understand. We got to get some understanding. If, just like Maurice, if you understand on one level and you got to keep digging, keep digging. Don't stop there, because you got to clearly understand to get the healing. You got to strictly come out of ignorance to get the healing. You can't be some gray areas in that thing. It has to be 100 in your thought pattern of understanding. So we're praying for Kimmy, and we're praying for Maurice that he'll keep digging deep, because understand that when you're dealing with trauma, and we're going to give him just a salute and a hand clap, and we're gonna encourage him, because he can do it. Because like I said before, healing is hard. Facing your demons and your pains are hard. And you always self-sabotage. You take it out on yourself. But I just believe that, and I pray that everybody who has trauma, they will get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they will gain a new perspective, and they will be lifted with Lezlie. Lift with Lezlie. I have a program, 5-week program to lift you out of trauma, because trauma has been in me, and I'm still working trauma out of me. So I have a 5-week program that can lift you out of trauma. It deals with the mind, the body, the spirit, the soul. It deals with your relationship with God. It deals with your relationship with yourself. And it's 5 weeks, and it's possible. It's possible if you do the work. So we encourage you to do the work. We encourage everybody to do the work. We're praying for Kimmy and Maurice. And yeah, trauma is my specialty. This is what I do. So, with that being said, I'm going to see you over on the carpet. I want you to grab your mats. Let's see. I want you to grab your mats, grab your journal and a pen, and grab a candle, your favorite smelling candle, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so get comfortable. You should have your mats, you should have your journal, you should have your smelling candle that smells good, and let's light it. Let's light. So we got my candle lit. And the reason why you want to light a candle is not to summons anything in, any spirits and all of that, but I'm all into stimulating your five senses. Candles, I said, make sure it smells good so that it can stimulate your smell as you spend quality time with yourself. Also, this candle is going to symbolize for us just awareness of what we're doing so that we can stay focused and we can do the release necessary. So it's also going to be there because of awareness. It gives you a choice. It gives you that choice that you would not have just doing anything. You have a choice to release or not. So that's what we're going to use the candle for, nothing evil, okay? So here we go. When the body relaxes, the truth rises. Let's say that again. When the body relaxes, the truth rises. So just relax. Just sit back and relax for a minute. Just relax. I want you to understand that silence and relaxation for your body is essential and is necessary. So just relax. Because for me to relax and for you to relax, I want to remind you of my oils that I have because they are mood changers. They have all the essential oils and they bring you to a place of relax because they have lavender and frankincense and all the good herbs that changes your mood. I'm going to put some of this on my feet as I relax with you. I'm going to put it on my... And I have patches, and I'll tell you about those. Those are also great natural tools of self-love. So let's just relax. And I'm going to give us time to relax. And then we're going to do a breathing exercise. We're going to just breathe. You deserve it. You deserve it. So let's take a deep breath in and let it out. In, out. And as you go in and out, you go at your pace. I just want to help you and guide you. So just relax. Let your arms go down. Let your head fall down. Let your neck go down. Let your back curve. Let your hands dangle. Cross your legs. Let them rest in Indian style. And just let it all go. You'll feel your body just getting into it. And don't get up until you actually get comfortable. All right? Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. And as you do that, we're going to bring stretching into it because we're releasing. So we have to stretch things that we normally don't stretch. So since you're in the sitting place of your Indian style, just bring your knees, your feet together like this. Let your knees just go down. Let your shoulders go down. Take a deep breath in and let it all out. In, we let go of all past pain, trauma, anything that's not serving us and let it all out. And if you feel the stretch on your thighs, that's where you want to be. And just do that. And I'm going to leave you there. I want to leave you there. And as you sit there and breathe in and out, I just want to remind you that to keep tuning in. I want to remind you of my oils. So make sure your self-love is what you want it to be. As we stretch the body, journal the truth, and allow God to shift our perspective. I'll say that one more time. We stretch the body, journal the truth, and allow God to shift our perspective. Bye-bye.